Ma. I knew we'd get to her eventually. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Kay back with another video today, and welcome back to Traptivist TV. Today, we are all gathered here to lay to rest Remy Ma. Before we start, this video isn't to bash Remy Ma, it's just for entertainment purposes only. So grab your snacks and get comfy, because without further ado, let's get right into the video. Reminisce Mackie Smith, born May 30th, 1980. Our Gemini princess, because she's not a queen. Also known as Remy Ma, formerly known as Remy Martin. And I just have one question: what is up with all of these rappers naming themselves after liquor? I'll never understand it. But born and raised in Castle Hill, New York, and since the time she was young, Remy had big dreams and never thought she'd be a rapper. Remy always had dreams of being a mortician and getting to see everything. Quote, "I wanted to be a mortician," adding that her and her friends would steal medical supplies from Planned Parenthood and experiment on each other. Quote, "I was the person who would go to the doctor and steal equipment and be the amateur lobotomist, gas my friends and draw their blood, and they'd let me. Big dreams but a thug mentality. Weird flex, but go off, sis." When Remy was in high school, a Def Jam truck that was promoting DMX's new album came to her school. It folded out like a mini stage, so basically like a pop-up concert. There were some kids who was rap battling, and Remy's friends hyped her up to go up and spit something. Plus, being the only girl would have sent them crazy, and that's exactly what happened. And from there on, she was remembered as the girl from around the corner who could spit. But not just around any corner. Around the corner from Big Pun. Big Pun was the first Puerto Rican rapper to go platinum on his first album, Capital Punishment, hitting #1 on the hip-hop R&B charts. Remy always expressed that someone she knew hooked her up with Big Pun, never knowing him directly, asking her to spit something for him, and the rest was history from there. The first song Big Pun would produce with Remy would be Miss Martin on Big Pun's album, Yeah Baby. Should have been a mixtape in my eyes. Big Pun would go on to be Remy's mentor until February 7, 2000. Big Pun passed away in a cab due to a heart attack.
Working with Pun. What was that like?
What a lot of people don't know is that I didn't know Pun that long. I met Pun, I was still in high school, and I met him, I want to say like maybe September or something like that. And like it was like the beginning of the school year.
Right.
And he passed in February of 2000. So I met him like September of 99, and like 6 months later,
What?
he wasn't here. A lot of people don't know that.
Because everybody told us that y'all was so close for so long.
But this is the thing. You look at it like this. 6 months now, when you're an adult, and 6 months when you're a kid. Like, I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like and I was with him every day. From the day I met him, I was with him every day.
Every day. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. How did you meet Pun?
He lived around the corner from my mom. He lived around the corner from my mother. And somebody that I was walking home from school, somebody that I was with, knew somebody that was at Pun's house that day. And we had just stopped, and he was talking to him. He's like, "Yo, what up? What you doing over here?" He's like, "Oh, I'm with Pun. I'm at Pun crib." And he like, "Where?" He's like, "Yo, my friend, she rap." And he was like, "Where? Let me hear something." I'm like, "Fuck no. Fuck is you?"
Just
who
like
is
that.
This? Nigga, who are you?
Just
I
like
know
that.
who you are.
Wow. That's Castle Hill shit. That's so grown. My wife from Castle Hill. That's how they act. They just like, who are you?
Wow. Like, why would I rap for you? Like, he like, "Yo, I'll take you to Pun crib. You'll rap for Pun." So I'm like, "Yeah, I rap for Pun, not you though." Like, and I'm calling my mother, because who are you? Like, so I called my mother. My mother came downstairs, and we went over there. And it was just crazy. It was like a house full of just mad people. She was like a fucking party. And he like, "Yo, you rap?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've never been shot." Like, even to this day, I could count the time 3 times in my life that I've ever got nervous. Good. Like, so I wasn't nervous, and he asked me to rap, and I was like, I spit some shit. He was like, "That might be your only hot rhyme. Let me hear something else." Like, okay, so I spit some other shit. But I ended up rapping to him was the verse that I spit on his album, on the Yeah Baby album, on the Miss Martin. Mm-hmm. He was like, "I want you to put that on a song. That's gonna be on my album. That's the first shit that I heard you say. That's what I want the world to be the first shit that they heard." So
that's deep, yo.
Yeah,
that's some deep shit.
My own song on this
shit,
album.
Yo. That's some deep shit.
But I didn't know him that long.
But not that long.
2005, and Remy was gearing up to release her album the following year, February 2006, called There's Something About Remy, based on a true story, with singles like Conceited, Whatever, and Feel So Good. Her hype from Fat Joe's Terror Squad was dying down, so Remy really couldn't afford to drop the ball, but she did. Critically, the album was an absolute success, but financially it flopped, selling 37,000 units in its first week and only 160,000 units in its first year. No shade, but yikes on a bike. I just know Big Pun was turning in his grave after hearing that. Unfortunately for Remy, things wouldn't be looking up anytime soon. Remy wasn't happy with the way her album was being treated by her label Universal with Fat Joe, which would eventually cause a disturbance in Fat Joe and Remy Ma's friendship. Remy eventually left Universal in result of this issue that same year, introducing Remy as a solo act. In 2006, Remy Ma woke up one day and felt the need to attack Nicki Minaj. I wouldn't even really say attack her. What I would really say is it seems like everything Nicki did from a certain point on, she just felt like it was about her. Like a hit dog will holler. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. But even though Remy was already dealing with a lot legally, which we'll get into in a second, but this feud reportedly started before Remy found herself in legal trouble. Remy Ma found herself panini pressed when Nicki's song from Playtime Is Over mixtape caught her attention. In particular, Nicki's freestyle, Dirty Money. Nicki says,
tell that bitch with the crown to run it like Chris Brown. She won 3 rounds, I'ma need 100,000. Like Chinatown, bitches better bow down. Oh, you ain't know? Bet y'all bitches know now. Fuck, I got it done to let them know that I'm the one. Way I ride the drum, they salute me in the slum. In the 600, the color of bubble gum. I'm with my nigga Spitz and my nigga Bun Crumb. Yes, I'm the one, I'm the motherfucking one. Hold more weight than the late Big Pun. Bitches talk slick, but they ain't saying none. Mad cause I'm bad, 2 sticks in my bun. Yes, sir, look what I've done. They run when I come.
Nicki unfortunately never came out to say whether it was about Remy or not, but to this day, Remy still thinks it was a jab at her. Eventually, they will make up for a little while, but finding the relationship going sour again, reigniting the war with verses aimed at each other. This will go on for a while until Remy was charged with attempted murder, criminal weapon possession, and assault, then later charged with evidence tampering. After a situation that happened early 2007, Remy turned herself in due to what happened at a pizza bar. Police confirmed Remy was with a group of people at a bar in Manhattan. Remy asked her friend Makita Joseph to watch her purse, and when Ma came back, $3K was absolutely gone. She shot Makita in the stomach and rolled off in a taxi, leaving her Cadillac Escalade behind. There was no security footage or evidence that showed the altercation, unfortunately, but Joseph was able to identify Ma as the aggressor. Remy Ma would be facing up to 25 years in prison, but would only be served 8. While Remy was incarcerated, her love interest at the time, Shamil Mackey, also known as Papoose, got married in 2008, a year after she found herself in a jail cell. 7 years go by and it's 2014. Remy is released from prison on Halloween of that year, dropping a mixtape called Remy on the Rocks. I'd rather have Bacardi on the rocks, thanks Remy, no shade, but she could have kept that in the stash. Songs that we've already heard before, you know, just on the same mixtape, all conjoined into one mixtape. So no new shit, right Remy? Your fans don't deserve anything new after you starving them for 8 years trying to be a thug. In 2015, Remy Ma announced that she would be joining the cast of Love and Hip Hop along with her husband Papoose. She stayed on Love and Hip Hop for 4 years trying to get a bag from Mona Scott because your music is on Floppiana since your incarceration. I'm really not understanding why they really gave her a spinoff, but that's none of my business. Remy isn't interesting, nor is she dynamic. She's just a thug who picked up some clout. In 2016, Fat Joe and Remy Ma announced that they'd be releasing a joint album called Plata o Plomo, which is Spanish for money or bullets. Of course it was titled that. What a fucking coincidence. Not. This album would have hits like All the Way Up, which was the album's golden goose and what kept it from drowning, which it ended up doing anyways, but we'll get into that in a second. Do y'all remember back in No Frauds when Nicki said this?
Hey yo, hold the wrists up, all my bitches up. These niggas is pussier than what? All them dicks is up. All my real niggas down the ride, throw your chicks is up. I ain't in the projects, but all my bricks is up. You can't be Pablo if your work ain't selling. What the fuck is this bitch in Helen? I would've helped you out that pit you fell in. I am the generous queen. Ask Miss Ellen. Tried to drop another one, you was itching to scrap. You exposed your ghost right in hell, you wish you was scrapped. Heard your pussy on yuck, I guess you needed a pat. What type of bum bitch shoot a friend over a rap? What type of mother leave her one son over a stack? Little booty down basic bitch thinking she back to back. Oh, you mean back to whack? Back to back. Me and Tristy laughed at that. They say numbers don't matter. But when they discussing the kings, they turn around and say LeBron ain't got 6 rings. I never signed a 360, but you well dumb. That's why Jane Claire's verse for your album. Shanae, you were fraud committing perjury. I got before and after pictures of your surgery. I took you to her doc, but you don't look like rock. Left the operating table, still look like nah.
Yeah, she was taking digs at Remy, basically responding to Sheether, which I'm not going to get into because Sheether was long as fuck for a diss, okay? It was just long as hell for a diss, number one. And half of the stuff Remy was talking about in Sheether, she couldn't have known about until she was out of prison. Unless Papoose was telling her, which if he was spreading a lot of disinformation. But yeah, this is that situation that she was addressing in No Frauds. Remy's source may not be reliable, but Nicki is, and she was right about her album sales. Now, All the Way Up was a single released from the album that they were talking about, the joint album. It had critical and commercial success, but again, financially, it was on Floppiana. But it received 2 Grammy nominations, so that's good, but it dropped the ball on both of them. And the album itself just did not do good. Debuted at number 45 on the Billboard 200 charts with only selling 11,000 copies in its first week. I guess you can paint your own picture of what that looked like after a year. In 2017, Remy went on Wendy Williams' show and said all types of things about Nicki Minaj and all the things that she was doing allegedly.
A lot of people have very short attention spans for 7-minute songs. But I stopped, started, repeated, stopped, started. I fell on the floor, I got up. I crawled to the telephone to, call somebody. I mean, but why was Nicki targeted?
No, it wasn't that she was targeted. With people who don't understand, I hear people like, we're waiting for her response. Like, that was a response. She started. And then, I feel that it's weird because she's been doing this to a lot of females, from Little Kim to Mariah to Taylor to Hannah, and no one says anything.
What is it that she does?
Well, it wasn't necessarily, the little subliminal stuff on records, because I didn't care. I don't care about records. And, I'd spoken to her before, like, whatever you say, you're supposed to say you're the best and none of y'all better than me, whatever. It was the behind the scenes things that you people would never know about, as far as trying to keep me off of red carpets and trying to make sure awards don't go to me, or she's not going to be in attendance, or trying to get people to make bad reports about my album sales, or just anything that I'm doing to make me look less and make her look better. And I have a problem. When you're trying to stop my bag, when you're trying to stop me from taking care of my children, then I have a problem with that.
Joe, I think we all thought that this had to do with music.
No, I didn't care about the record. To me, the record that she did that everyone was saying, and that I also heard, behind the scenes, that she was promoting as the record that was going to end me, I thought it was whack. I didn't care about that. I really, to be honest, I didn't care. What bothered me, like I said, was the behind the scenes things, that why you so up and you're so on top of everybody, you're better than everybody, and you're on this, why you worry about little old me over here? Like, I just came home from prison. I don't want no problems with nobody.
And you did a lot of research. You did a lot of research.
Let me tell you about that.
I want to talk about her butt.
No, this is the thing about me. And Joe can tell you this. I tell Joe this all the time. Please. No, seriously. We can be friends. And I will be cataloging information while we're cool, just in case, by some chance.
This is our people.
We get into it one day.
Yes.
Nothing ever happens. I never open a file cabinet.
No,
what if we do?
Don't test me. I will open that filing cabinet.
Right.
Joe, what? Okay. Joe.
Yes.
When Nicki, and I'm not choosing sides with this, okay? Just be very, very clear. I'm not choosing sides. I love you all. I love you. I don't even know what she's going to come back and say to you.
I mean, I'm not waiting to hear anything, at all. I'm done. Everything that I said. People have been calling me from every different media outlet and X, Y, and Z. I don't really care. They've got
the money stop thing. That was
my problem.
A big deal. That's a big deal.
They're still trying, instead of, keeping it hip hop or whatever, they've been trying to do things like pull it off of SoundCloud and pull it off of YouTube. It's still number 2 last time I checked on iTunes, but I probably got about 2 more days before it comes in. So make sure you guys go and get it if you want to hear it before it's gone.
Okay, so you said a lot on the song, 7 minutes, ridiculous. You did it over Ether, which was, Nas battle rap to Jay-Z. I thought that was pretty iconic. Joe, would you have chose another song? He's staying out of it.
Joe just, he's my brother, so he's gonna ride with me anyway.
Born again Christian.
But,
Okay. So you ran into Meek, and he told you that he couldn't have sex with her for 90 days.
Me and Meek had a
because she had her behind done, and then it dropped.
Me and Meek. me and Meek had, you know, a relationship prior to this. When I first came home and he was incarcerated, we would talk on the phone or whatever. And I haven't spoken to him since, you know, they were together. But, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it was like a malicious conversation. People feel like he was foul, but you know, there's a lot of foul things that people do when they break up. Like, you know, happen to break up with you and 3 days later with my worst.
Safari's gonna be here on Tuesday. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, there's more to his story too.
I'm gonna say one last thing, and then I'm not gonna discuss this anymore.
Just tune in, Joe.
No, seriously, I'm gonna say one last thing, and I'm not gonna discuss it anymore. This person, just based on what I've witnessed, is not a nice person.
Is it too late for her to come back? Because look, when Little Kim, when she mentioned Little Kim's name in a song, she came back in like 2 days. But it's been, what, almost a week now. Is it too late?
I'm not waiting for anything. I said what I said. I have my album Plot the Lomo out. I'm working on my solo project, 7 Winters and 6 Summers. I said what I said.
Damn.
I came appropriate for the services.
You know what? I was thinking I wasn't going to mention it because I don't want to be petty. But, because I'm trying to be impartial. But it's really hard to not notice halfway through the conversation she's dressed for a funeral. Damn you.
Which doesn't make any sense, being that 2017 was 5 years ago. And 2017 was the year that Nicki's hate train really started up. So at the time, Nicki wasn't even really doing any public appearances. So I'm not seeing how Nicki could have kept you off of red carpets when she wasn't even in attendance for a lot of them. And another thing, if Nicki was stopping bags, there would be no Cardi B. But I feel like you heard Cardi B say that she was stopping people's bags. Now all of a sudden it's a movement where everybody remembers a time where Nicki stopped their bag. Look, if Onika has that much power to stop bags, maybe you and Little Kim and Cardi B should just stop making music. Because if someone's name was that powerful, me personally, I would stop making music because I clearly don't have a chance. But you guys didn't stop making music. You kept going. If she was stopping bags, obviously there would be no competition, but there still is. You guys are still there. Your legacy is still there. And what red carpet? What red carpet could she stop you from being on if you have no music that's out that will give you access to something like the EBT Awards? Because anybody can get into the BET Awards. It's just you doing the bare minimum with Fat Joe just wasn't enough. The only time you won was at the Soul Train Awards in 2016 for All the Way Up. None of your mixtapes, albums, singles got an award except for your collabs with other artists. Nicki Minaj has received 350 plus awards between the BET Awards, the BET Hip Hop Awards, the MTV Music Awards, the VMAs, all of that. But you want to talk about someone stopping bags? Babe, you're stopping your own bags with your mediocre music, and you not releasing anything new when you came fresh out of jail. Me, if it was me, I would have released something as soon as I got out of jail, because people miss me. People want to see me. People want to know what I'm up to, what I'm like now. So I'm gonna give you that same shimmy that I was giving you before. It's like I said, not to bash, but I feel like Remy ruined her own career because you shot your friend over $3K that you didn't even find in her purse, and you probably made $3K every show. A little more than that. It had to be at least $5K every single show, at least. You could have made that money back. And I understand that it's the principle. You know, a friend stealing from you, nobody wants that. I get it. But you still shot her even though you didn't find anything in her bag. You left your son behind and something that could have potentially thrived. I mean, absolutely thrived. You chose to be a thug instead. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And that's exactly why Nicki came and got your spot right from under you. What'd she say? Is this the thanks that I get for putting you bitches on? Is it my fault that all of you bitches gone? Should've sent a thank you note, you little hoe. Now I'ma wrap your coffin with a bow. Nicki, she just mad cause you took the spot. Word that bitch mad cause I took the spot? Well, bitch, if you ain't shit and then get off the pot. Let me stop, period. And Remy, you clearly weren't shitting. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. One more thing I want to touch on is that weak ass stunt Remy pulled at Hot 97's Summer Jam in 2017 when she brought out Young M.A, Queen Latifah, Cardi B, and Little Kim on stage to perform Unity, and Remy decided to perform Sheether, not even knowing the lyrics to her own diss record. Your song that went viral could have been you showcasing more of Remy Ma, giving us more of that 90s to 2000s Remy Ma. You know how happy and how lucky and how appreciative your fans would have been, because you know, knowing that you being in prison and all, people want to see your talent, because you were obviously missed for people to want to spend money to come see you, and that's a privilege. But you took this moment and you decided to tear down other females and make even more of a mockery of yourself. Remy got back everything she put out, okay? If these labels will stop trying to replace people. Remember what you said in that interview when they asked you about Foxy Brown? If it wasn't for the label trying to find another Foxy Brown, there would be no Remy Ma. There would be no Little Kim. There would be no Nicki Minaj. There would be no Cardi B. There would be no Megan Thee Stallion. There would be no Sweetie. It would be none of that, okay? And of course, the people who came before Foxy, she gotta pay her homage too. But it's so funny because I've never seen you pay homage to anyone, like I said, except for that weak ass stunt that you pulled at Summer Jam, and your career is still on Flopiana. All of that for nothing. No gain, no gain, no gain. You gained nothing from it. So how does that make you feel now? Stupid? Then you're going to try to backtrack and say, "Oh, I was not sure about releasing it. I was hesitant on releasing Sheether, and because I'm all about female pride and female this and female that and female this and female that." Girl, boo, you ain't about female nothing. It seemed like all you wanted was a little bit of shine. You got your 15 minutes. Your 15 minutes is over, babe. Okay? Let the queen shine, the real true queen. You and everybody else can go have a seat, and that's the type of stuff you watch from a distance, okay? But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell down there so you don't miss a video when I post, so you can see when I post, And yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.